it's inside. Your heart knows what you need to do. Just connect to your heart, trust yourself, and move into life.
Why
What
is it important to accept it? What would you say?
Because when we accept it, we're going into the universe in a place of acceptance, in a place of receivership. Because when we go in a state of resistance, like, oh, I'm feeling down, I don't know what I should do, and all these emotions like anger, frustration, and guilt, all this, and you can't receive anything in those states.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So you put yourself in a place of receiving and
Yeah, definitely. And when you accept, the first thing is accepting. Okay, I'm accepting my situation. So what can I do next now? And also, at the neurophysiological level, when you don't accept things, you start experiencing. You're angry with yourself actually when you don't
yeah.
accept.
Hmm.
You're angry, and when you get angry with yourself, like I was before, you can have an opportunity in front of you, but you don't see it because you have just like you're wearing uh,
Blind.
these shades.
I can start recording this. Um, I really appreciate you finding time and also sharing your story because this is what I would like you to do. Like, as you know, I advertised this um, request for everyone who thinks that they are on the path of a purpose and they are living their passion, their life, their goals, and aligned with their values. And you were one of the person who wanted to share this story. So thank you very much in advance, Ashfaaq, and please
You're
go
welcome.
ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us about
So
yourself.
yeah. So where do I start? I'm thinking. So
What
let's
is
take it. Yeah.
okay? What is that you're doing, and what is that you believe your mission is in this life? At least for now, for
Mm.
in the present.
So actually, currently, I'm a life coach,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say life transformation coach because what I do is really like transforming the inner self
Okay. Who are your
people.
client? Who are your clients?
So basically, I help busy professionals,
Mm-hmm.
so working professionals who are struggling with stress, overwhelm, burnout, to to get out of this because me myself, I was struggling with this 2 3 years back, and so basically I help them get outside this cycle. I call this cycle of burnout, like the mouse on the wheel, just running around and just getting burnout, and to come out and just to live happily and to be free. Yeah.
So do you help them to quit the job they're doing and find something else, or actually find this peace within the framework of whatever they're doing now already?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Actually, it's very often we think that the solution is outside. Just like I did, I quit my job, I went there, but finally I realized that the solution is inside. So it's going inside yourself, to being aware of what is happening inside, being aware of what's going on, and then changing from the inside to the outside. Yeah, like building up this light inside and then projecting it outside.
Mm. So let's go back a little bit to your own personal journey. Um, when you found yourself in a position where something needs to change, what kind of job were you doing, and what made you realize that it is important for you to find a solution for yourself, and what kind of solution did you find, like you said, outside, but there's a change that happened on the inside as well that helped you to take that step. Can you speak a little bit that to that a little bit more?
Yeah. So basically, I studied BPharm, which is a degree in pharmaceuticals, and I was practicing as a retail pharmacist in the community. And so I practiced like it's almost like 10 years. And then what was happening? I was a very work oriented and like working hard, all of that, meeting the targets. I was manager at my company.
Mm-hmm.
But what was happening, it's like when I after work I'll come home, and I'm married, so my wife, when I'll come home, I will not like to talk to her. I'll just go in my corner in seclusion. And during the weekends, my friends will tell me, okay, let's go there, let's go. Like I like hiking and all of that stuff, but I won't go there. So I'll just stay at home in my corner. And so what I started doing, I started journaling. That was the first thing I started doing, journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning I'll just sit down and write everything down. Like, okay, Ashfaq, what's going on with you? So I'll just write everything down. Okay, today it was like that. Yesterday it was like that. So what was happening? And what I saw a pattern. What pattern I saw? Like, okay, I'll be okay. Like during the week when I was working, and
Mm-hmm.
when my manager will call me, okay, yeah, your performance is very good. It's very good. Or with the customers, which we have, big customers, we say, oh, he's a very good team leader. He serves us well. But then, if at any moment I get these negative comments, or my manager tell me, this week hasn't been very good, so I started to beat myself up, and I
Mm-hmm.
started to become aware of all this through journaling. Like before, I was not aware of this.
Mm.
And at a particular moment, I started to get chronic inflammation, because I was pushing myself out, and out. Uh, I started to get a chronic inflammation. My whole back was aching, and it was
Mm.
a big struggle for me. And at a certain point, I said, okay, Ashraf, it's time now. Just pause a moment and just start thinking about yourself. Is that the life you want to live?
Mm-hmm.
So from that point on, I started to observe myself. I was still working and do- still in the job, but I was like the observer. So when I'll go at my workplace, I'll 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 I'll, how would I say that? I'll come out from my body and just be the observer. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
observe myself. Okay, what you're doing now? How are you responding? How are you talking to this one? How are you treating yourself?
So you
I'll
became
just
more
start.
aware. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the awareness,
Mm-hmm.
journaling first, and then the awareness. So I started to observe myself, and through this observation, I started to realize, well, this is not the life that I want to live. You
Mm.
see, this is like, no, yeah, it's not good what I'm doing. It's like, this is not what I want. And I continued to observe, and at a certain point, I remember well, I was getting so much pain. Like literally one day, I called my boss. I told him, I can't come today because I can't wake up. I can't get off bed. And she told me, okay, no problem. And you know what I think this was a trigger point. The next day when I'll go to work and I'll meet him, he's just like, okay, are you okay? So we can carry on with work. It's like nothing happened. It's like, but
Mm-hmm.
for me, I said like, man, what are you doing? It's like you could have, I don't know, have died. And but this guy, he just, it's not his problem. And me, I'm just giving everything for this job and
Yeah.
for the company to grow. And from this point on, the next day I told him, I submitted my resignation letter, and in 1 month I just quit the job.
Mm.
And yeah, and you know what was crazy? I didn't have any plans. Like, where would I go? And my friends, they were telling me, you're doing something crazy.
Yeah.
You're like the top in the company, and what would you do next? So I was talking about, because I started reading about coaching and NLP and all of that stuff, and but I had no idea how I would do those stuff. But I knew deep inside, like, this was like there was something telling me, the universe was telling me, or I don't know how you would call it, you there's something else now. And you know, the image that I have in my mind, it was like I was on this big cruise ship
Mhm.
with all the comfort and all. So I just took the leap of faith and just jumped into the sea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wanted to ask you, so you obviously you had or you felt some sort of fear of leaving the not the comfort zone because you didn't feel good, but the security of the job, the security
Mm,
of a paycheck, and you were married. I don't know if you had
mm.
kids at that time, but you already had to provide for the family. And how, I mean, what were you experiencing at that time? Because it's a scary step without a backup, right? You didn't have another position to go to, another job to do. So is this purely this intuition, this some sort of message or feeling from the universe that you are talking about that sort of brought you through this fearful time, or was there something else? Would you say that there was some other trait of character or willpower or courage or strength, anything else that helped you to do that, or was it just, that the discomfort and the pain pushed you so hard that you just had to make this step?
I think it was just the pain, nothing else, because it was so painful inside. You know, it was like, that's a breaking point. I
Yeah.
can't take it anymore. So I just, and to answer your question, it was like 1 month I didn't work at all, and I fell into a deep depression. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And at that state, like, I went to see a psychologist and even a psychiatrist, because for me there was something, because now I was not working, so I was alone with myself. And so I thought that there was something wrong with myself.
Mm.
So I went to see a psychologist, psychiatrist, and we went through therapy. And also I uh, there's uh, there's something which really, this was something which triggered something in me. It was hypnotherapy. Yeah, hypnotherapy. I did
Hypnotherapy.
something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. And I went back in my childhood, and this is where I got the source. You know, it was like
Mm.
this, of all this suffering inside. It was in my childhood. So there was this trauma part, traumatic thing which happened, and I carried it all along without realizing it.
Mm.
Yeah. This was when I realized that, it was an aha moment for me. Okay, so this is where I got. And from there, I started to dig inside myself, exploring myself more, what I was doing, what I was experiencing. And another thing I started doing was connecting with myself, my emotions, being aware of myself. So it was a complete transformation.
The experience, the traumatic experience in your childhood that you were able to realize and get insight into, you were not aware of this before, or this is something I don't want you to describe it. I just want you to know, you were not aware of it previously before you worked with a hypnotherapist, or did you kind of know, but you didn't know that it had such an impact on your life currently?
You know what? You want me to tell you? I can tell you. It's like what happened, and just,
You don't have to, as you feel, if you feel to share,
yeah,
if
because no, I think it's important. You know,
Mhm.
just anyone can relate to that. So basically, you know, during the first hypnotherapy session, when I went back in my childhood, like, back when I was a kid, there was some violence between my mom and my dad. So the first scene that I saw was my dad, like, beating my mom. And this part, like, when I saw that, and it was deep in my subconscious mind, you see.
Mhm.
So it and to answer your question, I knew it happened, but I was not aware that it was affecting me so much. It was deep in my subconscious.
Mm, okay.
And so when I became aware of it, then slowly I started healing from that. I started forgiving my parents, myself, and building up on that. Yeah. So it
Okay.
was something which was very deep inside. And I was a kid, so if I yeah, if you ask me like, okay, this happened, yeah, I would remember, but I was not aware that it was affecting me like
Hmm.
causing so much.
To that extent, yes. So that was a work mostly to forgive the parents and accept the experience for what it was, right?
Mm.
How did you um, made it your journey to be coaching and helping people along? Was it once you realized that you were able to help yourself through that experience, so therefore you can also help and assist others? Why did you decide to become a coach?
So it was not at that point. At that point, I was still working on myself and
Mm-hmm.
going through the therapy. And then back, it was last year when I met my coach, which whom I'm still with him now, and he shared like all these therapies I was going through and all these it didn't really help me, you see,
Mm.
because because it it was it was making me aware of my childhood, what happened, and all of that. The awareness part was that, but the moving forward part wasn't there. Get my point?
Ah, I
So
see. Mm-hmm.
I was aware what happened, and okay, now I'm in the present, and okay, but the moving forward part, it wasn't
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I
This is
understand.
this is where I needed the help of a coach,
Yeah.
and so last year when I met with my coach and we started discussing and talking, and this is where I started moving forward, like
Mm-hmm.
from where I was now. I was moving forward, and this is where I realized that okay, it resonates so much with me what he's doing right now with me, and I want to help
Yeah.
other people, like, because I went through that journey.
Mm-hmm.
What the past, the
Yeah.
present, then yeah, moving forward. So this is the point where I
Yeah. So,
realized that I want to do
mm-hmm.
that.
Tell me about your work then. What do you do now?
So as I told you, I help professionals
Mm-hmm.
to overcome stress and burnout through coaching and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what we do very often, we and some of my clients, they think that they'll often ask me, okay, so what I should do now? Should I do this, change this, or go through this, start doing that, start? It's all about the doing stuff, or or better plan my work day, or this time management stuff, and because I was doing that before, and what I tell my clients is I can give you my whole, and I have a whole bookshelf full of productivity books, time management books. I
Yes.
can give you all of that, but it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing works. What you should do is go inside, and what we do, the first thing we do is connecting through in it's what I call that is connecting with our inner child inside,
Mm-hmm.
because we all have this little child inside whom we have neglected, the little child, and we go inside and we connect with the little child, and from there on we see what the little child has to tell us, all this
Mm.
suffering, and yeah, and when we release that, when release burden, then we can move forward.
So, do you have a process for that, for connecting with the inner child? Is it something you learned from someone else, or did you develop your own way of helping people to connect with the inner child?
Actually, I learned that with my coach. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we do that through meditation and breath work. Yeah,
Breath work.
breath work.
Great.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
breath work. It's very powerful, and we go deep inside. And first of all, we have to calm the mind,
Yeah.
because we're too much in this mind chatter. So we calm the mind, we go into the heart center, and from the heart center, then we connect within your child, and from there on, we get the answers, because the answers, they are not in our head, they're in our heart.
Mm. So, what are
Yeah.
the first obvious benefits of you've had clients, a certain number of clients by now, and you've seen people. What is the first, let's say, benefit or most obvious change in person's behavior, thinking, or their life once they connect to the inner child? And they come to you with like you said, with a request, give me a list of things that I should do. What is my routine? What is my morning? How should I start my day, right? And you tell them, no, we first need to go inside and connect. What do they, when it happens, what kind of, maybe the different requests they bring in, or what is the most obvious, like, insight that they get that maybe you can share, maybe you noticed?
Yeah. So the first thing is that the kind of, well, that's weird. Like, it sounds crazy, and yeah, and when I speak to them, how bring coherence and connecting with our heart center, our little child, they tell me, "Oh, well, but that's not my problem. I have other issues, and you tell me to go inside, and yeah, it's like I'm getting this problem at home, or these issues with my professional life, and just tell them, okay, just trust me. Let's go through the process. Let's do a session. Just try out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what we do, okay, just have a session. We just try it out, and after the session, they're like, oh my God, it feels so good. So yeah, and after the first session, you see, I can see the energy on the person's face. It's like they're glowing and they're feeling so peaceful, and from there so it's something which we can't understand, because our mind can't understand that. It's something we can feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want them to experience this feeling, because when we transform ourselves, it starts with our heart, and we can't understand our heart. We can just feel this transformation, our whole body, it's feeling. And I can't describe your feeling. We don't have exact words, exact,
Yeah.
because we have been used, and me, like, professional analytical mind, just thinking logic, and so what's the logic behind that? Does it make sense, like connecting to our heart, or I don't know.
Yeah, we need to
uh,
have the
yeah.
answer why we're doing that. And any cases where after connection with the inner child and after going within for a few maybe sessions, people improve their health? Did you have cases like
Yeah.
that?
So actually, I won't say health, but and I use a lot of NLP in my practice. Our subconscious mind, we have patterns going on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we live through patterns, through habits. We are creatures of habits. Excuse me. So basically, what I notice is that the patterns start changing,
Mm-hmm.
the identity start change. So and the healthy part, it's like when I look at someone, it's not only about the body. We have the mind, body, and soul connection. You see, so
Yeah.
all this, it is it's the synergy should be there. Working together, all these three elements. Because if only I say, okay, you get healthy, you do exercise, you eat healthy, it's not gonna work. Because if in my mind I have this belief that, okay, I'm like, if, for instance, since my childhood, I believe that I couldn't succeed, I couldn't be good enough, I meant to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So even if from the health part, so I'll I give you all the healthy stuff, eating and the exercise, but it won't change anything, because you have to change your belief system. And so what I realize is that the first thing is, when we start changing those patterns, those belief patterns inside the client's mind. Okay, I'm worthy of that. Like, I'm myself, I'm worthy. When they start believing that they're worthy, so anything they want to do, they want to start this project, get healthy, eat healthy, it comes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is basically, and we get results. That's the thing, because people want results, and we see the results. I had a client last time, and when I do coaching, in the middle of my coaching, like we have about 6 session, not a lot. I don't do a lot of session, because what I do, it's quite it's rapid, it's quick. We get
Okay.
the results quite quickly. I don't like, because I went to therapy and going to a psychologist, and it took month and month, and it doesn't work. So I'm not here to, what I tell my clients, I'm not here to just drag you through therapy and
Mm-hmm.
just get
Mm-hmm.
out your money. No, it's not that. I want results, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm accountable for your results. So after like 3 session, I send them a mid-session assessment,
Mm-hmm.
and what I do there, I make them assess themselves. Okay, so like if they were struggling with procrastination or negative thinking or fear of failure, all of that, so we assess that, and it's above 50%. The score they give, they give themselves, it's amazing. Yeah.
Wow, after
So,
sessions.
yeah. Because it's just changing the belief system. It's not complicated. We just have to, like, there's a gear inside. We just have to change that, and everything from there. And what I do, even after completing my the coaching journey, I do have some calls with them each month or each 2 months, just to check out how you're doing, how it's going on, and they do pretty well. Yeah,
Oh, that's
because
great.
we have
That's great.
yeah because we have changed the subconscious, and what we don't realize is that when we change the subconscious mind, it works for us. We don't have to do big efforts. And the example that I take is that we have a big elephant, a huge elephant in our minds, and if we can make that elephant work for us, it's done. Yeah.
So, to change your beliefs that quickly, do you use some hypnotherapy then? Because beliefs been with someone could be for 20, 30, 40 years, right? We're
Mm.
pretty attached to that belief. How can you change it that quickly?
So the secret to that is, yeah, we go into the subconscious. So I use a mix of things. So we have hypnotherapy, we have NLP, we have meditation, inner child. And the secret to that is to build up habits after that, slowly changing
Mm,
the patterns, building up
yes.
habits. So regularity is very important. You don't have to do a lot of stuff, but slowly over the weeks, you start building up, building up, building up.
Hmm.
And it takes, if someone, like, scientifically, they have proved, like, 21 days, some say more than 21 days to change a
Yeah.
habit.
Yeah.
So if we do that, then it works. Yeah, it works.
Hmm. So, do you think that most of the work has to be done on the part of the client?
Definitely. Yeah,
Right.
because I'm just here. The example that I take, I'm a lighthouse. I'm guiding your boat. So I'll show you. You have, there's a rock there, so don't go there. But it's your boat.
It's your boat.
Yeah, you have to manage your boat. Yeah. Mhm. I know it's very difficult to believe, like, what it's not conventional, like, this the technique I use, it's because it's transformational. And what I tell them, it's when you go through transformation, it's something you should experience. I can't describe it in words, because your transformation, my transformation, it won't be the same in terms of in terms of experiences,
Yeah.
you see, because it's beyond our comprehension. It's in the heart, and our heart has its own language.
And the answers are usually there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And even though the clients come and say, "What should I do? Tell me what to do," most likely they have the answers within. So I guess
Yeah.
that's what you
mm,
help them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is quite a big statement to say that if in 3 sessions you haven't experienced that, you will return the down payment or payment. Um, that's an amazing confidence, and I acknowledge you and your great work.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I just, yeah, because, and something, what I tell my clients, it's not about the money, it's about the transformation I
Yeah,
want, because this is what I do. I don't want to just, like, when because I went through that, I went to see a psychologist, and each weekly session, and I was just like, just throwing money and nothing happened, just
yeah.
going to that loop again. But I don't want this, other people just go go through the same stuff like me. Yeah.
You want to bring
Mhm.
results.
Yeah, it's very important for me, results. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so how could someone who is maybe still a little bit, doubtful about this whole process, and maybe they're not ready to hire a coach, someone like you, what do you think they could do to start connecting to the inner child, or listen more um, to the heart and go within? Would you suggest meditation, breath work, anything from your side that could help people to do maybe some of that work on their own?
Do, you want us to do a quick, like, 15 minutes practice here, just
Oh,
to,
oh, sure.
let's
That
say,
that would be interesting. Yeah, let's
yeah,
do
we
that.
can. Okay, okay, let's do that, because to describe it in words, it's difficult. But when someone, like, see it and experience, just follow the practice, it's better like that. Okay.
Okay.
So what we'll do, we'll just relax, and relax yourself. Your back should be straight. Okay.
Hmm.
And
So, so what do I do with this realization now?
yeah. So actually, when we're connecting back to our little child, there's this message, and this is what our it's deep in our heart. It's buried. So if you got this, like, creative message, then just go out there and do some painting work or some creative things. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
it's because it is yearning inside. Like your little child is crying and telling you, I want this. I need this. Keep me alive.
Mm,
Yeah. So just get creative. Anything creative you can do, painting, or drawing
yeah.
pictures, or even, with your hands, model. You could clay, whatever, just, and it's from this point. Don't get logical. Just go through the feeling. Like, you feel doing that, just do that. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
You're
And what
welcome.
happens if you take someone to meet their inner child and it brings a lot of emotional trauma? And on the first session, how do you deal with that? How do you help someone through?
So actually, it's important that this come out, because this is the awareness part.
Hmm.
Okay. And from there on, there's nothing to be afraid of, because it's inside yourself.
Yeah.
Actually, what we have been doing so many years, like what I tell my clients, so many years we have been ignoring this voice inside, but it's inside. It's part of you.
Hmm.
And the solution is not ignoring that voice, like you were doing, like escaping from it or fearing from it. No, but just go there and speak speak to the little child. So go inside. It is good you got this, and the more things come up, it means the more you're connected. You have connected to yourself. So let's go there, speak to the child, and see what you need, and just follow it, and you'll see it will change.
Mm.
So there's nothing, like, harmful, or, like, traumatic. It's okay. We just go for it. Mm.
So, do you maintain this communication with your inner child, or is it something that you do once or twice? You get some sort of insight realization, and then you just um, not completely forget it, but you're done basically with the process, and now you can, pay more attention to attainment of goals or building your future vision? Or is it something that you constantly consult on a daily basis or weekly basis, and you communicate with your inner child and discuss, or what is the process and that you suggest, recommend?
Connecting with our child, with our inner child, is something continuous. So
Continuous.
yeah, it's continuous. It's not something that like you're done, because it's a relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
like you have a relationship with someone, you can't just say, okay, you know what, only like 1 month I'll maintain the relationship with you, and then we'll go in the goals, and it doesn't work like that. So it
Mm-hmm.
need to be nurtured, it need to be taken care of, and something which is meant to happen, sometimes you lose the connection. It is normal, because what happens, after few sessions, maybe when the client gets okay, he or she has started to witness the transformation, we're
Mm-hmm.
like that, we tend to let go, to let
Yeah,
go of.
yeah, it's very, yes.
But as soon as you let go of this process, you see a change. Like, you're not grounded inside yourself. Yeah, you witness it, you know.
Mm,
So this relationship is so important to maintain, because
mm.
it's a relationship with yourself, and this
Yeah,
is the most important relationship. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm.
And for yourself, what's the process looks like? Is it still journaling? Is it meditation? Is it?
Actually, I do a mix of things. So I have a slot of like 45 minutes in the morning and in the evening, where I do some meditation, journaling, and I and there's something important, like I don't do like it's not, I don't make it boring, you see.
Mm, mm-hmm.
So each day I don't do the same stuff. I change it. So maybe today it's going to be journaling. Tomorrow it's going to be inner child.
Yeah.
And day after it's going to be breath work. So I vary, just to keep, like, it's not boring, and at the same time I keep discovering things. Like, I try
Mm,
things out, like
mm-hmm.
different methodologies, and even this, methodology which I used with you, like going inside the heart. Before I didn't, it was different, but then uh, I experience it with myself first. So I try it on myself, like, okay, which one works out better, and then I see the result, and then I share it with my clients.
Mm,
So it's not something like, and if you felt something deeply, it's because it's from the heart. It's not something theoretical, like I use I have a pen and paper in front of me, and no, it's not like that. It's That's why I told you at the beginning, it's something you can't understand. You can just feel.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And is this your full-time job now? This is what you do full-time?
No, actually, I'm still practicing as a pharmacist, counseling pharmacist, and I do that, and I do coaching at the same time. So, and you know what? Something which I observe, it's as I told you at the beginning, it depends on me, like how I am internally, because what we perceive is what we are inside, you know
Mm, yes.
about.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could have told you, the company, same thing, same shit, but I look at it from a different perspective, and yeah, it completely changes your perspective. So it's all about the inside, the internal state, the internal belief. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, a few words for someone who may be not sure about their purpose, their life right now, someone who is, has no goals and feels a little bit lost. What would you recommend that person, what they do, or what kind of, like, again, I'm asking something to do.
Yeah.
But how do they start connecting with themselves?
Okay, so I'll take my example just to be realistic. So the first thing is at a moment in our life, we all feel lost. We all that it happens. It's normal because we are meant to in everyone life. There's this moment where and this is the breakthrough moment. Like it is not something like we should be fearful of or escape from it. This is a breakthrough moment when you start feeling lost. Like what am I meant to do? What's my purpose? And
Mm,
yeah, this is so change is going to happen. Okay, this is a
yeah.
breakthrough moment. That's the first thing. And the second thing is accept this moment. Like okay, I'm accepting like I don't know what to do or what I'm meant to do. Accept it. And then thirdly, it's inside. You know, your heart knows what you need to do. Just connect to your heart, trust yourself and move into life.
Why
That's
is it important to accept it? What would you say?
because when we accept it, we're going into the universe in a place of acceptance, in a place of receivership. Because when we go in a state of resistance, like oh I'm feeling down, I don't know what I should do, and all these emotions like anger, frustration, and guilt, all this, and you can't receive anything in those states, you know.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So you put yourself in a place of receiving, and
Yeah, definitely. And when you accept, the first thing is accepting. Okay, I'm accepting my situation. So what can I do next now? And also, you know, at a neurophysiological level, when you don't accept things, you start experiencing. You're angry with yourself actually when you don't
yeah.
accept.
Hmm.
You're angry, and when you get angry with yourself, like I was before, you can have an opportunity in front of you, but you don't see it because you have just like you're
Mm,
wearing uh,
blind.
these shades, and you
Yeah.
just oh this guy he's frustrating this, you know, this lady she's just unnerving me, and it's like yeah. I have gone through all of that, so I know how it feels like. You see.
Mm. Yeah, this is very powerful when you're trying to help someone with something that you've been through yourself.
Mm,
So you know how it feels, you know how a person, what kind of thoughts go through their minds, or how difficult it is for them to make a decision and to follow the intuition. But first of all, connect to that intuition
mm,
within their hearts.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Well,
and yeah, I would like to add to that. You know, very often, like when I talk to a client, I say you should be feeling like this way now, or this kind of, I don't know, and the client like smile like, how do you know that? Because I went through that, so I know that. You know, I'm not teaching from the books or stuff like that. It's from my own life experience.
exactly, exactly. And that's the best. That makes the best helper, I believe. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ashfaaq. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Very
for the call and the opportunity. Thank you.
and thank you for taking me through the process and giving me a little bit of coaching as well.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I share that for free, you know, because I think that right now the whole planet needs that. You know, we need to go inside with the chaos outside, and we you know, so many people we are in this state of fear, anger, frustration, and you know,
I totally agree.
yeah, we need to go inside and start generating love, compassion, mercy. This is what will change the world. Yeah, strongly
Yeah,
believe in it.
it's a beautiful message. Yes.